Hey guys, so I've spent the last 12 years working in entrepreneurial environments, helping to invest in companies, build companies, and sell companies. In the last 2 years, I've explored online businesses for myself to see how they work exactly and how they make money in order to remain sustainable. Today, I'd love to share with you how you can start your own online business, but to do it in exactly 7 days. Okay? Starting a business is a great way for you to accelerate the process towards becoming financially independent. So I'm going to explore today ways and the steps you can take day by day for the next 7 days to create one for yourself. My name is Ken of the Humble Penny and Financial Joy Academy, and what we do on this channel is to give you tips, the insights, and the practical hacks for you to create a dream life of financial independence and money joy. So stick with me and I'll show you exactly what you need to do for the next 7 days to create your own online business. So our reason for wanting to get you to do this in 7 days is to give you a lot of focus so that you can go from no idea whatsoever to actually creating your own business in 7 days. So let's walk through and see how exactly you can go about doing that from day one, okay? On day one, your goal is to research your business idea, okay? So you might be somebody who already has a business idea, in which case then, you can skip to the next step. But if you're somebody who's kind of trying to decide between this business idea or that business idea, the best way to go about deciding which one to go for is to look at the pros and cons of each idea. So just grab a sheet of paper and write each idea at the top of each piece of paper and write what the pros and cons are and weigh those up as a way for you to decide. If you have no idea what your business idea is and you're still trying to decide, what business idea do I want to go into, I've created a lot of content on various business ideas that you can check out. I'll put a link below to 12 best side hustle ideas that I think you should check out, or 27 legit ideas on how to start an online business. So feel free to check that out. Finally, there's a blog post I wrote recently called 85 Ways to Make Extra Money that has lots of ideas for you to decide on, picking one that you can focus on today. Another way to decide what business idea you should pursue is to look at a mix of your talents, things you're really good at, or your strengths, and your passions or interests, okay? So make a simple list of 5 to 10 talents and passions, and when you combine these together, you'll be able to decide via a combination of your talents and passions, whether a particular idea is something you might pursue. Say, for example, you might be somebody who's good at coding, but you have a passion for education. You might decide to start a coding school for teaching young kids how to code. Or you might be somebody who is very good at writing, but you love food, for example. You might then decide to start a food blog, for example. But the goal for day one is to take all these ideas and really funnel them down to one idea. You want to be able to get to the end of the day and say, I've got this one idea that I want to pursue, and then start to ask yourself questions around, is this a popular idea? Is this something people are interested in? Is there a demand for this particular type of service? And so on. But you really want to get to the end of day one and saying to yourself, that's the business idea I want to focus on, so that you can then move on to the other aspects of creating that business. Day 2 is all about clarifying what your business plan is. Now, this is the bit where most people fall down because they spend weeks and weeks creating business plans that really go nowhere. So what you want to do is to really focus on a super simple business plan. It could be a 2-pager. I've got one, in fact, that you can grab for free called the Start in 7 Days Business Plan. I'm going to put a link to it below for you to check it out and grab it for free, okay? Now, this business plan will help you clarify what it is you're offering, how you're going to offer that, what it's going to cost, as a service or a product to people, and how exactly you're going to deliver that. You'll also cover things such as who are your customers and why, for example, okay? So if you fill that business plan out, it will start to help you frame exactly what it is you're offering, okay? So it's a good exercise to kind of get through to just help you be able to put on paper what the full value that you're offering out there is to people. So a really good example of this is, say you want to start an online business that's selling pet products to people, okay? So what is the business? You're selling pet products, specific niche pet products to pet owners. Who is this business for? It could be, say, dog lovers in the UK, okay? How will you deliver this product? You could use Fulfilled by Amazon, Amazon FBA, as a way for you to source those products in somewhere cheaper, like in China, for example, and have it fulfilled through Amazon and delivered to your customers. What would it cost you? Well, you can do some research around what other competitors are charging for those products. And because you're finding them a lot cheaper somewhere else, you're able to then offer those products perhaps a bit cheaper at the same level of quality. Thereby, this offers value to your potential customer. So you can see that with this really simple 1 to 2 page exercise of clarifying your business plan, you're able to, in your mind, understand what the exact business offering is for people to be able to become customers of your new business. I've created a blog post called 8 Online Business Models for Your Side Hustle. I'm going to put a link to it below in case you're looking for a business model that would complement your potential online business idea. Now, the final thing to do at the end of day 2 is to start to talk about this new business that you're starting. I'd highly recommend at this stage to start to talk to friends and family about it, okay? Because this is the bit that most people don't want to do. It's that they think people are going to steal their business idea and go and do it instead. But I would say, get the idea out there to people, let them know about it, because down the line, at the end of day 7, these people might even become your first customers. Day 3 is all about your brand identity. For me, this is the really fun part. What I'm talking about here is what is the name of your business? What does the brand look like? So if people wanted to kind of describe your business via the intangible aspects of it, how would they describe it? What does the logo look like? What colors are you using? What font are you using? And what tagline are you using? Okay, so I'm going to take those one at a time so we can just break them down for you, okay? So what you want to do here is, let's start with a name, okay? So I would pick a name that's simple, unique, ideally a name that's a combination of different words. Don't, become obsessive about this. Just pick a few things, do some kind of brainstorming exercises and come up with a name. Pick a name that's, say, a maximum of 3 words, okay? Don't pick one that's too long. So for example, mine is the Humble Penny. So the Humble Penny is a brand that we are building, okay? So you could pick something that's quite unique and unusual, maybe combining 2 unusual words. Like for example, we're combining humble and penny. You'd never think of a penny being humble, but because we've combined them, it's become very unique, okay? Then you think about your brand colors and fonts. A good place to start with this is to kind of look at brands that you like out there, okay? What do you like? What brands do you support? When I started out, I used to love brands such as Apple, and I loved the National Geographic. And so what I did was I went online and looked at the National Geographic, and I loved their colors. In fact, the yellow color that you might notice in our branding actually comes from the National Geographic. And because that hue of yellow represented wisdom, I thought that might be an amazing color for what we were doing in trying to share personal finance knowledge and personal development knowledge with lots of people out there. So spend some time looking at brands that you like. You might even go on platforms such as Pinterest and look at, say, brand related boards to give you some ideas around what colors might represent what you feel you're trying to create as a business. Fonts are actually really important as well. So look at existing brands and you might be able to identify particular fonts that you like, and by finding the right colors and the right font, you can then start to base your entire kind of logo and brand identity on something in order to create something for yourself, okay? You can either create your own logo via platforms such as canva.com, which is a free platform that you could use. I, for example, because I wasn't very, very good at designing these things, paid somebody a bit of money, I think it was about £50 or something, to help me work towards creating and bringing my ideas into life. For the tagline, I would say use a maximum of 3 words, okay? So our tagline is create financial joy, which means to us that the word create means that somebody has to do some work in order to create this life of financial joy in their lives, okay? So choose words that have some meaning and words that typically have some action tied to them, okay? So for example, Nike have just do it, for example, but words that perhaps have some level of attitude and action related to them, okay? But try and aim for a maximum of 3 to 4 words so that it's nice and easy and memorable, okay? Now, the final thing I'd say for day 3 is that you should focus on now sharing this new brand identity. Remember, our goal with these 7 days is to really take the steps and end each day with one achieved outcome. So share your new brand identity with people, share them with friends and family, put them out there on Facebook. You know, if you've got more than one idea for a logo, for example, put it out there and put a poll maybe and ask people to share their ideas on what they think is the better one for you to use perhaps. But make sure you get to the end of the day saying to yourself, this is what I think my initial brand identity looks like. These are my colors. This is what I think my logo is going to look like. And here's my first draft of my logo. And then you've got to the end of day 3 with something significant achieved. Day 4 is all about creating your website. Now, this again is where most people drop off because websites can seem complicated when in actual fact, they are quite simple if you know exactly what you're doing, okay? So the goal with day 4 is to create a really simple website, say a 4-page website, for example, okay? Now, in order to start to dive into what those pages are, I'd like to explain to you what you should do in order to actually create the website itself, okay? So first thing you need is you need to decide on your website domain, okay? So go to a website such as Bluehost.com or GoDaddy.com or whichever one you want to go to and search for your domain name. I'd ideally look for a .com domain. If it's not available, maybe look for something else that's closest, but a .com domain is usually a lot more premium and one that you might want to look to grab as fast as possible. Now, once you've grabbed your domain name, you need some hosting for your website. So again, a website such as Bluehost.com, which I use in addition to another website called GoDaddy, which I use as well. I'll put links to these below. You can grab those and start searching. Now, I use Bluehost especially because they offer you the option of a free domain provided you buy your hosting. Okay, so I'll put a link below to Bluehost so you can check them out if you want, but alternatives include GoDaddy, One-on-One. There are lots of all these websites that you can use essentially to buy a domain name or to buy some hosting. Now, once you've bought your domain and hosting, you want to then start to create your website on a suitable platform. I use WordPress because WordPress is open source and is one that's free that you can customize in so many different ways, okay? So I'll put a link below to a tutorial I've created on how you can actually create your own website, okay? It covers everything from buying your domain name hosting and even going step by step to how you can set up your website on WordPress. I'll put a link to that below so you can check that out in your spare time. Now, the thing to then do once you've created the wireframe for your website is to start to create the pages for the website itself. So I'd recommend you start with about 4 pages. Now, the home page is the most visited page of any website. And so what you really want to do is to make sure that your home page is attractive, okay? So typically what you want to do is to have a really nice picture, but the key thing is to make sure that your homepage communicates what service or product you are offering, i.e. what is the value proposition? Why should anyone be interested in clicking through and seeing your services page or whatever, okay? So you want to let them know that upfront. And then you want to have some form of a call to action. Saying, grab this freebie or click here to go to our services page or products page. But you want to make sure that people don't just visit your homepage and then disappear off back to where they came from. You want them to carry on exploring your website, okay? The other 3 pages I've mentioned are something like an about page, a product or services page, and a contact us page. So with the about page, A really good way to make this really interesting is to tell people what your story is. What was your inspiration for starting on this journey of creating for yourself an online business? Why did you choose that particular service? What problem are you solving? What challenges have you had on the journey? So feel free to be vulnerable on that page to really help people connect with you. That's really what that About page is about. Now, the product and services page is really about just displaying what your products and services are and how they help people solve their problems. That page should also cover things like the cost of your product or service and how people can buy your product or service, okay? Simple click-throughs and go and buy here, okay? Make it really simple. Make sure you add images, of your various products or services in a way that describes it really well for your brand. Now, the contact us page is really simple, typically just a phone number or an email address, but a reliable way in which people can get in touch with you to ask questions or to inquire about what it is you're offering. Day 5 is one that most people ignore, but possibly one of the most important things to do, okay? Day 5 is all about accounting and payments, okay? Now, let me break down why this is important. Most people who start small businesses typically don't track what they're spending or what they're making with their businesses. They tend to do this in their heads and they believe they know what they're spending and they think they know what they're making. An accounting system simply helps you capture essentially your state of financial performance, i.e. how you're doing with your business, your expenses, your incomes, and it also helps you capture your state of financial position. So what is your cash flow? How much cash have you got? Because remember, cash is the lifeblood of every business. So you need a simple accounting system to help you capture these, as well as to help you do things like setting up or sending out invoices to potential customers, okay? So accounting systems that I use personally, the one I use personally is called Xero. I'll put a link to it below so you can check it out if you want. An alternative one, which is free, is one called Wave, so the Wave app, which is also available for you to check out. I'll also put a link to it below. I really love Xero simply because it's really, really intuitive and it's cloud-based, okay? So that means you're not just putting numbers into some system that lives on a particular computer. Xero is cloud-based, so wherever you are on your mobile phone or iPad or wherever you are in the world, you can see what your business is doing and how it's performing. So it's really, really ideal for people who are not accountants or people who understand finance. It's ideal for people who just want to start a business. Now let's talk payments. Payments are super important because you obviously need people to pay you for your products or services. A really easy way to get started is to use a platform like PayPal for business. Alternatively, you can use Stripe. I also opened a business bank account, so you can contact a local bank, and some of their online bank accounts are a lot cheaper. You might pay something like £5 or £6 per month to use them, but you typically have to pay something in one way, shape or form. So PayPal, for example, you pay via a commission, which is usually quite a heavy commission for using their platform as a business owner, okay? But either way, you need one of those to get started by the end of the day, okay? And then an easy way to do that is just contact PayPal online and set up a PayPal account. And whilst you then go through the process of opening a business bank account. Day 6 is all about basic marketing. So most people who create businesses typically just think that once they've created those businesses, somehow customers will start to really become interested in those products and services. But the truth is, you need to work really hard with marketing your product and service in order to create awareness for your product and service, such that you can then gradually build trust with people in order to convert them to buy your product or service, okay? So a really good way to get started on day 6 is to make a list of 50 to 100 people who you know, could be friends, family members, people who attend, say, your local church, people who you're acquainted with in one way or another, people who you play sports with, people who you might even be parents to your children, just people who you know in your day-to-day life, okay? And your goal is to start to talk to them about your business. Remember, you're not selling to people at this stage. Your goal at this stage is awareness, okay? You're essentially telling people, this is what business I've decided to start, and this is how it helps people solve their problems or improve their lives, okay? And by doing that, people know that this is what you do, and if they want, in time, they can purchase your service or product, or they might be able to put you in touch with other people who might become customers one day. The other thing you should be doing on day 6 is to begin networking. Now, a lot of us don't like networking because it's typically a fair bit of work and we usually have to leave our comfort zones. But without networking, you don't expand your horizons. A good way to start networking is to look at groups online, maybe on Facebook, but related groups to your business idea, ones that you can join and start to listen to and hear what the conversations are around the product or service that you're offering. You might even look at websites such as eventbrite.com and look at local events that might be available in your area. But your goal, remember, is to become an ambassador for this new business that you're creating, to put yourself out there and to start to talk about it with confidence. Because remember, typically in business, people are buying into the business owner because if they can build some level of rapport and trust, then they are some way a lot closer towards being able to become customers and to invest in your products or services. So at the end of day 6, you want to become somebody who's talking confidently about their business or service and somebody who is networking. Now, day 7 is all about creating a marketing plan. So this is a step beyond just the basic marketing. A marketing plan is a plan for how you will find your customers, identify them, and in time, sell your products and services to those customers. So it's a detailed analysis of your current offering or business in order to understand how it fits into your particular area or your niche area. You'd figure out things such as who are your competitors, you'd look at what do the demographics of my customers look like, what age range are there, where do they live, and how will I market to them from where I am, say in your living room or in your bedroom. How will you market to them in order for them to become aware, but not just aware, to become people who will gradually in time convert and become customers, okay? So this could be such things as using social media, creating flyers that you put out, using Facebook ads, for example, or even creating free events that you invite people to, and by attending those events, you gain some awareness, or they gain some awareness of your products and services. These can vary, okay? But the goal here is to create a really good plan that then guides you in terms of what your immediate next steps will be in order to market your products and services. I'll give you a really practical example. So a good example of this is our business, The Humble Penny. So we have a website at thehumblepenny.com, a blog that essentially goes out there into the world via high quality content in order to attract eyeballs to our website. We also have the Humble Penny TV on YouTube, which is attracting people through the high quality content that we create on YouTube. Then we have other ways in which we market ourselves using social media and using collaborations with various other websites and related complementary websites online. All these activities together help to attract people to our sphere such that we can then conduct our business of financial education. So if you follow this 7-day process and got to the end and created your initial business but need some help in creating your marketing plan for new customers, I'm going to put a link below that you can check out. Feel free to get in touch and we can help you work towards creating that marketing plan for your new business. I really hope you've enjoyed watching that video today. Which of those steps in the 7-day process resonated the most with you? And where have you been stuck so far in your own process towards starting your own online business? Please let me know in the comments. If you've got a business idea that you're looking to explore, I'd love to hear what your ideas are. Please comment below. If you're also interested in starting a business but have absolutely no idea where to start, please let me know in the comments and I'll be more than happy to start a conversation with you. If you'd love some form of coaching or guidance, feel free to email me at ken@thehumblepenny.com, and I'd be more than happy to help you move forward. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure you like it and please subscribe if this is your first time visiting our channel. We now create content twice a week, every Tuesday and Thursday, in order to help you move forward in your financial situation. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you on our next video. Bye for now.